אני לפניך מלך וקיים מודה אני לפניך מלך וקיים מודה אני לפניך מודה אני לפניך מודה אני לפניך מלך חי וקיים מודה אני לפניך מלך חי וקיים מודה אני לפניך מודה אני לפניך מודה אני לפניך מלך חי וקיים מודה אני לפניך מלך חי וקיים מודה אני So just reach out to that which is all around us, the sweetness of a beautiful day, the blue sky, and breathe it in deeply. Let it energize all parts of the body. Feel that flow. Breathing up through the spine, out down the arms. Allowing the breath to go deep. Out through the legs. Invite the breath to bring energy and vibration and life to all parts of the body. As we continue to take in the breath and let it go deep, we'll move to a slow chant for Eloheinu Shama Shenatata Bi. Just taking each breath as a gift, each breath sustaining us, providing that sweetness to nourish us. Elohai Neshama Shenatata Bi Tehorahi Elohai Neshama Shenatata Bi Tehorahi Elohai Neshama Shanatata bi Tehorahi Elohai Neshama Shanatata bi Tehorahi Elohai Neshama Shanatata bi Tehorahi. As we continue with this breathing meditation, this morning I want to add a visualization to picture in your mind a natural place that you love to go. It might be a place that you've been to recently or one that you are planning to go to, or a place that you haven't seen for a while. Picture it in your mind's eye. And travel along a path that enables you to explore and be in that special place. Take in the sounds, the smells, notice the small details and stop to bring your attention to a plant, a flower, a tree, an animal. And in the stillness, just watch for a moment. All of life is connected. Through our breath of life, we are connected to all of nature, all living things. And so, whether we're able to go to these places or we're not able to go to these places physically, we can go there at any time, journeying in our mind's eye, and remembering through the very molecules of our being the connectedness that we have to these places and to these special things in our lives. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. Blessed are you, Adonai, ruler of the universe, who's hallowed us by your commandments and commanded us to occupy ourselves with words of Torah. Teach us to treasure each day. Teach us to treasure each day, that we may open our hearts to your wisdom. Oh, teach us to treasure each day, that we may open our hearts to your wisdom. Oh, teach us to treasure each day. Treasure each day. Teach us to treasure each day. Treasure each day. Teach us to treasure each day. Teach us to treasure each day. Teach us to treasure each day, that we may open our hearts to your wisdom. Oh, teach us to treasure each day, that we may open our hearts to your wisdom. Oh, teach us to treasure each day. We're counting the Omer, counting each and every day, the blessing that we recite. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav al sfirat ha'omer. And as I open my Omer counter, and I do the count, it tells me, Hayom shlosha ve'esrim yom, shehem shlosha shavuot u'shnei yamim ba'omer. Today is 23 days, which is 3 weeks and 2 days of the Omer. 23 days since the second night of Passover. This is the Gevurah Sheba Netzah. Gevurah Sheba Netzah. We have arrived at this Sphira here, Netzah, and Gevurah is over here. And so Netzach sometimes is translated as victory, but another way that I think is more helpful to see it in the context of an energy that we can really experience and feel and note in our own lives, and that perhaps we could especially use right now, is endurance. Endurance, victory is about enduring, about staying the path, about continuing on the way. And all of these other qualities that are here, part of the tree of life, contained within each of the separate sfirot, we can look at the Gevurah. Gevurah is about discipline, that in order to endure, to sustain ourselves, we need some element of discipline, some structure, some way of giving ourselves a path forward, something that we do each day or each week. I was talking with some of those chanting with us about the importance of Shabbat, that Shabbat and the rituals of Shabbat give a way of creating structure at a period when our lives might just feel like one day is just sort of moving into the next and it's hard to keep track. But Shabbat comes along and gives us a way to sort of anchor ourselves in the end of one week as we prepare ourselves for the beginning of the next. Netzach that is only powered by Gevurah would be not a good thing. Sometimes we have to give ourselves a break. Sometimes I know I have had this, especially this past week. We have an unproductive day. We have a day where we just can't get off the couch. And nothing much gets done. And in the midst of these weeks, there are days where sometimes it's hard. And so we can't just crack the whip. The discipline can help, but it's okay sometimes to take a break in order to replenish and recharge in a different kind of way. So the day before today, Chesed, the Chesed of Netzah, is important. To endure, to sustain ourselves, requires loving kindness as well. Loving kindness can be that which sustains us. When we give it to others and when we receive it from others, it gives us faith and hope and helps us to keep going. But that loving kindness for ourselves, when we're not feeling so good and not feeling so strong, to give ourselves a little loving kindness. And we don't want to get lost there and sink down into, an expanse of time of nothing. But from time to time, it's okay to be there before we come back to the structure and the discipline with which we want to try and order our days. As I was thinking about this message, before we come to these words actually of Psalms, I want to share from Rabbi Jill Hammer's Omer, Counting Through Biblical Women, a couple of things that she had said for these two different aspects of Netzah, both the Chesed and the Gevurah. And she came up with two wonderful examples. So actually, if I could, I'm going to just come back to full screen for a moment so that I can share with you some of the words that she wrote. For the Chesed within Netzah, she gave as an example the matriarch Rebecca. And she's a perfect fit for this energy, love with endurance. If we think about the loving kindness, the generosity of spirit with which Rebecca became selected by Abraham's servant to be Isaac's wife, because she generously offered to water the camels. Endurance, to go back again and again to fill her jugs from the well of water, to do so out of a spirit of loving kindness and generosity to a stranger who had come a long journey and was tired. And in that moment, we see that energy of Chesed built into Netzach, endurance. For the Gevurah of Netzach, for the discipline and the strength within endurance, she gives the example of Moses' wife, Zipporah. And this was a fascinating example because she recalls the story that Zipporah and Moses are traveling as he makes his way back to Egypt after the vision of the burning bush. And there's a very strange short story told in which he becomes sick and is close to death. And it is Zipporah who takes a flint and circumcises their son. And this brings healing to Moses. One might think, why did not Moses think to circumcise his son? Well, he had grown up in the palace of Pharaoh, so there could be some very good reasons why he didn't have consciousness around the importance of this ritual. But Zipporah, the Midianite woman, she does the act. And it's an act that requires perhaps causing pain, an act of cutting. But she does it. She does this hard, difficult thing in order to protect life. And I thought about this because when Rabbi Hammer created these biblical role models connected to each of the days of the Omer, it was a number of years before the moment we are in. But she writes in the final line for today's energy, the Gevurah of Netzach, we are most like Zipporah when we endure discomfort in order to achieve a lasting purpose. We are most like Zipporah when we endure discomfort in order to achieve a lasting purpose. And isn't that exactly what we're going through right now? Going through this discomfort and sometimes enduring pain in order that as an entire community, as an entire country, we might come back together in health and strength. So these words from Psalm 29. Psalm 29 is traditionally one of the psalms that lead up to Lecha Dodi, used in Kabbalat Shabbat. But these last two lines of the psalm are also found in the end of Birkat Hamazon, the grace after meals. And so they may be familiar. Adonai oz le'amor yiten, Adonai yavarech et amo v'shalom. The eternal source gives strength to their people. This eternal source blesses the people with peace. The idea that strength and endurance, when we can't always find it on days within ourselves, we can always connect to some higher place, some source beyond us, to bring that energy that we need, to give us strength and endurance, and to bring us to a place of equanimity within, a place of shalom. This is a melody written by Daphne Rosenberg and Yoel Sykes, the musical team behind much of the music of Nava Tehillah. Adonai oz le'amor yiten, Adonai yavarech et amo. Adonai oz le'amor yiten, Adonai yavarech et amo. Shalom. Adonai oz le'amor yiten, Adonai yavarech et amo. Adonai oz le'amor yiten, Adonai yavarech et amo. Shalom. Adonai oz le'amor yiten, Adonai yavarech et amo. Adonai oz le'amor yiten, Adonai yavarech et amo. Shalom. Shalom. Shalom.